Hi, Sunshine Warriors. You know, it's a new year, and I always get excited in the new year. And actually, prior to the new year, I was really just focused on trying to evolve and grow myself, grow my mind, my heart, my soul, my spirit, and physically become stronger. And so I've been in this kind of like morning routine, and you may have seen some of my walk and talks. They're sporadic, FYI. So just know that I hurt my back a couple years ago, and it has been a long journey. So I'm finding out that I struggle to walk back-to-back days. So I take a little break in between a couple of days just so I can keep to the cadence of the exercise. But as part of my walking, which I am so addicted to, I have to tell you that I've just been listening and really paying attention to things that I am tuning into. And I'm sharing this with you because I watched this interview that Cody Sanchez did with Tony Robbins. And Cody Sanchez is just a baller. That girl is just come out of nowhere. Although, you know, she's not an overnight success and she's an author and all the things, but she did a fantastic interview with Tony Robbins, which is a big deal. But there was something that he said out of that whole hour plus interview. There was a thought process that he shared that stuck with me. And I'm the kind of person that when I hear things, I'll just ruminate on them, and I'll just it gets in there and it starts to do its work and its magic, and then it comes to life in things that I do or say or when I'm with people. So here's what Tony said. He said, you know, so many people fail on our New Year's resolutions, and statistically it's just off the charts that people don't follow through. And he said, because we're going about this wrong. And first he said, you know, most people start with strategy. Okay, I'm gonna lose weight, and here's a strategy to do that. He's like, but that's not enough. Strategy is not enough. He recommends kind of flipping the roadmap. And he said that starting with your mindset and starting with your state of mind versus mindset. Really, he said state of mind. So where's your state as you decide to do whatever it is that you are wanting to lean into? So if we aren't in the right state of mind, then it doesn't matter the strategy. And I just thought that was so profound, because I'm sure, like me, we get all excited about things. And then we're like, yeah, we're going to do it. But I do have often wondered, why don't I? Because I'm so excited about it. It's because of the state of mind. So I'm working on the state of mind, my state of mind. How am I showing up every day? What am I pouring into my mind to grow it? What am I doing physically to be sure that I have the energy to do all the things that I want to do? And secondly, he calls it the 3 S's. Secondly, the next S was story. And man, this one's powerful, because the story we tell ourselves is not always true. Sometimes the things we tell ourselves, the fear, the phrases like, I could never, I can't, I'm not smart enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. That story, I have to admit, sometimes my story to me holds me back. And so I think starting with that state of mind, and then paying attention to the story, not only the story you tell yourself, but the story you tell others. Then lastly, then get the strategy to put it into place. So my strategy for this year is walking. I am loving it. Even if I can't do it every day because of my back, I'm doing it. I'm doing it as much as I can every week. And I'm just checking it off the calendar like, yes, I win. But when I'm walking, I'm also growing my mind. And this just came to light yesterday. The light bulb went off. I love when light bulbs go off. But yesterday I had lunch with an old friend, and he and I were just chatting, and you know, he's kind of burnt out, and he's articulating when I said how are you feeling? And he's just you know, it's just a grind, and I don't know that I love it anymore. And I just said, what if you reframed that? Maybe not say I don't love it anymore, because you're not in a position to retire. So what do you love about what you do? And once we started to really get into the areas that he loves, and you could just see his face light up, and you could see the passion come back, and I was like, oh my gosh, that state of mind that we come into a conversation with the story that he's telling himself, So actually in that moment over lunch, we kind of worked on a strategy where he could, for the next 3 years, develop a way that he could use his amazing skill, his head, his heart, to be able to find joy and happiness in what he does. And I was like, oh my gosh, just by like changing from starting with strategy to starting with that state of mind. And then secondly, I was talking to a good friend yesterday afternoon, and she was sharing her parents are ill, and she was sharing that, my parents will never sell their house, and they live about an hour away from her. And it's a struggle with her and her sister and just having to take care of them and doctors and all the things. And she says, they will never consider it. And I just said, hey, I hear you. And maybe that's where they are right now, but reframe what you're telling yourself. Because if you come into that conversation with that energy, then of course they're never. So think about, times change, people change. What we once thought we would never do, it changes based on our story and our journey and what's going on. So I said, just try to tamper that for yourself as you're having conversations with your parents. Because if you come into it with that state of mind, they're not going to. And ultimately it's the right thing for them, just because of the care that they need. We got to start with that. Got to start with the story that she's telling herself. Got to start with the right state of mind. And then she can get the strategy. And so 2 times in one day, I'm like, yeah, Tony Robbins, I got it. And I just wanted to share this with you because these are like the little things in life that I'm sure I'm not the only person that kind of gets stuck. And the mission of Sunshine Warrior is to move through life together, to bring light to each other, to bring light to the world, to shine our each respective amazing lights. And I think sometimes we intentionally dim them. So I'm all about like not dimming light this year, shining as bright as you can. Be careful of your state of mind. Treasure it. Foster it. Watch the story you tell yourself. And then put a strategy together to go accomplish whatever it is, no matter how big it is, that you want to do while you're here on earth. Shine bright, everybody.